Trigger 1. Uncertainty about the future. The number one fuel for overthinking is not knowing what comes next. When the future feels unpredictable, your mind tries to compensate by running through every possible scenario, most of them negative. You're essentially trying to control outcomes you cannot control, and that mental loop never ends. The way to break this is to draw a clear line between what is within your control and what is not. Write it down if you have to. Once you accept that uncertainty is a permanent feature of life, not a problem to be solved, your mind has less reason to keep spinning. Trigger 2. Fear of making the wrong decision. Overthinking thrives when every decision feels high stakes. You weigh options endlessly, second-guess yourself, and delay. And the longer you delay, the more anxious the decision becomes. This is called analysis paralysis, and it quietly drains your energy every single day. The fix here is to set a decision deadline. Give yourself a reasonable amount of time to gather information, then commit. Most decisions are reversible. A decent choice made now will almost always outperform a perfect choice made too late. Trigger 3. Replaying past mistakes. Your brain is wired to remember painful experiences more vividly than positive ones. It is a survival mechanism. But when you keep replaying a conversation, a failed project, or an embarrassing moment, you are not learning from the past. You are punishing yourself with it. When you notice this happening, redirect the question. Instead of asking, "Why did I do that?" ask, "What can I do differently next time?" One question pulls you backward, the other moves you forward. That single shift changes everything. Trigger 4. Caring too much about what others think. A significant portion of overthinking is not even about your own life. It is about how your life looks to other people. You rehearse conversations before they happen. You analyze someone's tone after a meeting. You wonder if you said something wrong. This is exhausting because you are trying to manage a variable, other people's perceptions, that you fundamentally cannot control. The grounding practice here is to ask yourself, will this matter to me in 5 years? If the honest answer is no, you have your permission to let it go. Most people are far too occupied with their own insecurities to scrutinize yours as closely as you think they are. Trigger 5. An overloaded schedule. When your calendar is packed and your to-do list is never ending, your mind never gets a moment to settle. It stays in a constant state of alert, jumping between tasks, deadlines, and responsibilities. That mental noise is the perfect breeding ground for overthinking because a busy mind is a restless mind. The solution is not to do less necessarily. It is to build deliberate pauses into your day. Even 10 minutes of silence, no phone, no input, gives your nervous system a chance to reset. You will think more clearly in the hours that follow than you would after pushing through nonstop. Trigger 6. Perfectionism. Perfectionism and overthinking are two sides of the same coin. When your internal standard is flawless output, your brain refuses to move forward until every detail is resolved. You rewrite the same paragraph, you redesign the same slide, you rehearse the same conversation, and nothing ever feels finished. What helps here is reframing your benchmark. Instead of asking, "Is this perfect?" ask, "Is this good enough to move forward?" Progress, not perfection, is what actually produces results. Done and imperfect will always be more valuable than polished and undelivered. Trigger 7. Lack of a clear priority. When everything feels equally important, your mind does not know where to direct its focus, so it tries to hold everything at once. That is not productivity, that is mental clutter. And clutter creates the kind of low-grade anxiety that keeps your thoughts circling without resolution. The practice that cuts through this is deceptively simple. Identify one priority per day. Not 10. 1. The single most important thing that, if completed, would make the day feel worthwhile. When your focus narrows, the noise quiets. Clarity is one of the most underrated antidotes to overthinking. Trigger 8. Consuming too much information. We live in an era of infinite input. News cycles, social media, podcasts, opinions. There is always more to consume. And while staying informed has its value, excessive information intake gives your brain too much raw material to process. It starts connecting dots that do not need connecting, drawing conclusions from noise, and generating worry from headlines. The boundary to set here is an information diet. Decide when you consume news and for how long. Unfollow accounts that consistently leave you feeling unsettled. Your mind can only work with what you feed it, so feed it intentionally. Overthinking is not a character flaw. It is a habit. And like any habit, it can be interrupted and replaced. The 8 triggers you just heard about all share something in common. They all create a sense that things are out of control. Your job is not to eliminate uncertainty or achieve perfection. Your job is to bring your attention back to what is real, what is actionable, and what is right in front of you. Start with one trigger. Work on it this week. That is not overthinking. That is progress. If you enjoyed the video, please sub and like.